They say that when you homeschool, there's no such thing as falling behind. But what if you feel like you're falling behind and you do want to catch up by your own standards? Well, today I'm going to give you some tips to help you get back on track, get back on your feet, and catch up with what you want to do. Hey guys, it's Bonnie from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool, and welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling, homemaking, motherhood journey. And so today we're talking about falling behind in homeschool. I've heard a lot of people say you can't really fall behind when you're homeschooling because you're not comparing yourself to anybody else, but I disagree. I believe that you can fall behind. If you are a person who likes to go with a grade and you want your child's grade level to reflect them, for example, like I don't want my kid to be doing the same level for 2-3 years unless he needs to. But if it's because of other reasons, I want to make sure that we are where we need to be so that he can graduate on time. If he does decide to go to college, then he has everything that he needs to know to get to where he wants to be for his future. So let's get deeper into this. First, you have to identify why you fell behind. Was it because you were going through a hard life situation? Was it because you or your kids were being a little lazy? Were the kids giving you a hard time? Were you personally going through something where you just couldn't find the motivation to keep up with the kids' schoolwork? Were you trying to do too much and it just every day was just dragging on? Were you having children who maybe were just dragging on in their lessons and not like moving forward? The main thing is to identify those problems and to try to resolve it. So if it's in the case of your kid taking too long to do some schoolwork, which is one of my problems, try setting up timers, try picking a new curriculum, try different solutions that would help you to manage whatever the reason is. If you're lacking motivation, find out why. If you're going through a life situation, how can you make that better for yourself? How can you find the motivation to help you get to where you want to be in your homeschool? So the first thing is just creating the vision. What is your vision for homeschooling? I have a whole video in the card above on homeschooling visions and how to create your vision for your homeschool and then trying to achieve those homeschooling goals. And I'll link those videos on the description below. But you just first got to see what the problem is and work in small steps to try to fix that main problem. So now let's get into how do we catch up. So what I did was I went back to my kids' lessons and I saw how many lessons they had to do and how many days a week they would have to do it, because normally we homeschool 4 days a week, but we figured out in order to catch up with math, we have to homeschool math 5 days a week, which would have to be on a weekend because one of the days where I call up all day, we just don't have time to do school on that day. But my son does have time to do it in the morning on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, whatever I will allow him to choose. And don't be afraid to homeschool outside of the normal time frames. Don't be afraid to homeschool through the summer, homeschool through winter break, homeschool through the weekends. Homeschool in the evenings, like whatever it is that will help you catch up with what your goals are, then you have to sometimes sacrifice certain days in order to do that. Now remember too, I'm hoping you guys aren't comparing yourself to anybody. Remember, this is catching up by your standards for where you think and you want your kids to be. Create consistency for your kids. A lot of the times, if we're falling behind, there's a problem in the structure of our homeschooling. You know, there's that whole reason why we fell behind in the first place, but there's also a problem in being consistent and doing school consistently. So starting a different routines and just doing it every single day is gonna help your kids and you to be on track, to know what's expected of them and of yourself. So making sure you have consistency is key. Remember also, it's okay to ask for help. If you need help from other parents, a homeschool co-op, online courses, videos, friends who teach the subject, whatever it is that you may need help with, don't be afraid to outsource some of your kids' schooling in one way or another if that is what's going to help you guys to stay on task. If you're having a problem teaching writing, there's OutSchool classes that teach writing courses. You can put them, if you don't really have the time to do science at home or history, you can enroll them in a homeschool co-op once a week where they're doing history, even though it's once a week. At least they're getting something better than nothing. We are all human and we all like rewards, right? So why not reward yourself and your kids for small accomplishments, whatever those accomplishments may be. Maybe it's doing consistent school for a certain amount of time. Maybe it's finishing school in a day by 1 o'clock. Maybe it's finishing this math curriculum and then there's some reward after it, some incentive for you and for your children, because we need incentives as well, because we're the ones going through all the stress, more than they are, I think. All they have to do is do the work, right? No, but seriously, like I think that maybe having a reward for yourself and for your kids every so often will help to make things a lot more manageable and fun. Make sure to take breaks though when you're in this catch-up progress so you're not getting burnt out. So make sure you have maybe a week in between or a couple days, even if you just take off like a long weekend. Let's say you've had gone consistently for like months and then you're starting to feel that burnt out. Take a long weekend off, 2 days plus the weekend, and just take a little break, and that'll give you enough time to get refreshed, to get back and to get right back into the routine. Or if you want to take a whole week off, if you're homeschooling year round, and then go back and do school every 6 weeks, there's so many different types of schedules that you can do that will fit your needs and the needs of your kids. And remember that taking care of yourself, your mental health, your physical health is crucial to having a successful homeschool or even a successful home, being a successful parent. You have to prioritize making sure that you are good so that you can help your kids be their best as well. If you want to see my goals for 2024 that are going to kind of help me keep on track so that we can catch up because we are falling behind, make sure to check out the video. I will see you guys in the next one.